Hare Krishna. Happy Shri Balram Jayanti to everyone. And we will be discussing Shri Balram pastime. So for next 1 hour from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And thank you very much for your association. Let's sing Jai Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Girivaradhari Jayo Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Krishna Balaram 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 Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Path Sati Radha Path Sati Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। श्री बलराम जयंती महामहोत्सव की जय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. Today we will discuss verse number 10, 15, 5 from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, chapter 15, verse number 5. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Aho amide vavaramararchitam. Aho amide vavaramararchitam. Padambujam te suman. Padambujam te sumana falarhanam. Padambujam te sumana falarhanam. Namanti upadaya shikhabhiratmana. Namanti upadaya shikarbhi atmana. Tamo pihatyai tarujanmayat kritam. Tamo pihatyai tarujanmayat kritam. So this shlok is spoken by Bhagavan Lord Krishna, and what happens is Lord Krishna, Balram, and with their friends, they are all going to Vrindavan, as in the forest. So they are going to the forest in Vrindavan, and they are close to Talvan. So as they get closer to the forest, now in the forest what happens is all the trees start bending. They start bending and the branches are bending down. The trees are full of flowers and fruits. And Lord Krishna and Balram are walking into the forest. Lord Krishna has got his hand on the shoulder of Balram, and Balram has got his hand on shoulder of Krishna. So both the brothers are walking like this. And as they are walking, so all the trees will are full of fruits and flowers. They start bowing down. As the trees are bowing down, now Lord Krishna Bhagavan, he speaks this shlok, and he speaks this shlok addressing Lord Balram. So Krishna is speaking this shlok addressing Lord Balram, and he's saying, my dear Balram or Dauji, all these trees, they are offering their obeisances unto you. Yeah. They are offering their obeisances unto you. We'll discuss later, but this is the background, just so you get, you get that understanding. Yeah. So, word by word translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He is here. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Lord Shri Krishna said, Aho, oh, Ami, these, Devavara, O best of lords, Shri Balaram, Amara, by the immortal demigods, Architam worshipped, Pad Ambujam, to the lotus feet, te of you, sumana of flowers, phala and fruits, arhanam offering, namanti they are bowing down, up uppadaya presenting, shikhabhi with their heads, atmana thereon, tama darkness of ignorance, apahate for the purpose of eliminating taru uh, taru janma, their birth as trees, yat by kritam created. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O greatest of Lords, just see how these trees are bowing their heads at your lotus feet. Lord Balram ki jai. Which are worshipable by the immortal demigods. The trees are offering you their fruits and flowers to eradicate the dark ignorance that has caused their birth as trees. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, please hear. The trees of Vrindavan were thinking that because of past offenses they had now taken birth as trees and being immovable could not accompany Lord Krishna in his wanderings throughout the Vrindavan area. In fact, all the creatures of Vrindavan, including the trees and cows, were great souls who could personally associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but because of ecstatic sentiments of separation, the trees considered themselves in ignorance and thus tried to purify themselves by bowing down at the lotus feet of Krishna and Balram. Lord Krishna, understanding their mentality, simultaneously glanced at them with affection and praised their devotional service before his older brother Balarama. Srila Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Blessed to Mangalacharan and then we will discuss. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamlam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sajivam Savadhetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishalacha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubha Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Bhuter Mahadbhir Yaima Puro Vibho Nirmayashete Yadmusha Purusha Bhunte Gunansho Dashatmakam Solanka Srishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanaagatam Katha amritam satat pibatam bhakti vedanta marga panthanam sarvalok rishi deva janma prasannam sarvalok rishi deva janma prasannam. Hare Krishna. So here Lord Krishna is glorifying Shri Balram. Yeah. And Lord Krishna is saying to Balramji as they were walking into the forest, so he's saying, Aho ami deva vara mararchitam. Yeah. So he's saying to Balramji that, oh Balram, who is Devavar. Devavar as in best of the gods. Who is the best of the gods. Actually, Dev, literally Dev means somebody who can give. So in that sense, you can also understand Balram, who is the giver, who is the best giver, who is the best among the givers, who can give you something. Yeah, you call the demigods Devta, but above them is, Lord Krishna is saying, Devavara. He is the topmost who can give. Devavara Mararchitam. And he is saying, who is, you are even worshipped by the Amar. Amar is, demigods are called Amar. Deva Varama Architam. So my dear Balram, you who is even worshipped by the demigods. Then he says, all these, yeah, Padam Bhujamte, yeah, Sumana Phalaraham. So he's saying to Balram that your lotus feet are being worshipped by these trees. As the trees were going down, so he says they are worshipped by these trees, your lotus feet. And then he says, Sumana Phala Arhana. Yeah. Suman is very important word. So Suman means Su Man. Yeah. Su means best and Man means mind. Whose mind is pure, whose man is pure. Yeah. People whose minds are pure, yeah, they offer you the best of the service. They surrender unto your lotus feet. They pay their obeisances unto your lotus feet. That is one way of understanding this. Then he's also saying Suman also means flowers. Yeah. So because these trees have flowers and they cannot themselves pluck their flowers, so they are bending downwards. They are bending as you are walking to offer their flowers unto you. And also it is mentioned that Balram, who is Sheshnag, in the lower planetary system, all the Nag Kanyas, the associates of Shesh, they are offering their services to Sheshnag, also going down to him. So this makes a reference to that also, that he is being offered prayers. So the trees are offering prayers to him, offering the flowers. People who are the pure mind, yeah, as Lord Ram says to Lord Ram speaks in Ramayana. So he says that mohi kapat chal chidr na bhava nirmal manjan so mohi bhava. So he says the hypocrisy, the deceit, the lies, yeah, yeah, people who are kapti, yeah, they cannot get me. Yeah. Nirmal is without any mal, without any malicious thoughts. People whose mind, nirmal man, yeah, people whose mind, whose man is pure, yeah, jan, people, only they can get me. Otherwise, I don't like people whose are duplicity, deceitness, cheating, lies, etc. All those qualities. So Lord has declared. Yeah. So people who are pure heart, they offer their worship unto the lotus feet of Lord Balram. Lord Krishna is saying that. So Sumana, and then he also says Phala Arhanam. So they also offer the fruits. As you go take fruits to the temple, you offer the fruits to Sri Radha Gopinath. Yeah. The Nag Kanyas in the lower planetary system, they are offering flowers and fruits to Sheshnag. And here also Lord Krishna is saying that all these trees, they are bending and they're offering their flower and fruits unto your lotus feet. Now, yes, they are doing this, but in the next line, then Lord Krishna says, yes, so he says, Namanti, yeah, Namanti upadaya, yeah, Shikhabhir Atmanas, yeah. So they are bending, yeah. So I think we covered it in the second line. So by bending, they are offering the flower and fruits. As we say, we offer our dandot pranam, yeah. We're paying our obeisances. So the trees, they can perform that service in whatever capacity they are. But in the last line, Lord Krishna says, Tamopi Hatya, which is very important. Tamopi Hatya Tarujanma Yat Kritam. Now they are offering their obeisances because, and in the purport Srila Prabhupada says, because they are trees, they are bound with the earth. And Prabhupada says that they cannot walk. They cannot participate in the pastime as Lord Krishna and Balarama are walking. They cannot walk with them into the forest. They are tied, they are stuck in the earth. Yeah. So now there is a sense of repentance in their behavior. Yeah. Because they're saying because of mode of ignorance in their previous lives. Yeah. Tamopi hatte, that mode of ignorance, api hatte, that they want to be eradicated. Actually, hatya, so hatya word has come from hatya. And hatya means you are forcibly stopping someone, or literally you are killing someone. Hatya means you are just suppressing someone. Yeah. So the point is, Prabhuji Mataji, these bad qualities, they actually needs to be suppressed. Yeah, you understand? So we need to suppress those bad qualities, and they can only be suppressed by performing the devotion service. When we perform the devotion service, so these bad qualities, the ignorance, etc., they get suppressed automatically. Yeah. Rather than trying to fix the bad qualities, you perform devotional services. When you perform the devotional services, by that force of devotional service, that's what hatya means, the force of devotional service, it gets suppressed. Tamopi hatya. Yeah. And then say, Taru janma yat kritam. That ignorance they want to eradicate. Because of that, Taru Janma, Taru as in tree. So they have taken birth as tree, Yat Kritam. Because of that ignorance, they have been born as trees in this lifetime. Yeah. So to sum it up, Lord Krishna is glorifying Lord Balram, that my dear brother Dauji, they are all offering their obeisances unto you by bending down unto your lotus feet. And not just that, you are Vara. Even demigods offer their worship to you. They also come and offering their worships to you. Yeah. So you are so potent, you are so glorious. And now that we are walking, these trees are bending down from their head. Yeah, Shikhabhir Atmanas. Yeah, the top of the trees, they are bending, and they are offering flowers and fruits that they have unto your Padambujam, your lotus feet. And why they are doing this is because in their previous life they were overtaken by a mode of ignorance. So there is a sense of repentance. And because you are the Deva Vara, you can give. See, Lord Krishna is glorifying Balram. He can give everything, but now he's glorifying Lord Balram, saying that because you are the giver, you can give them liberation, you can give them the benedictions, the best of benedictions, you can give them. Yeah, so they are offering their prayers unto you, my dear brother, Lord Balram. Yeah, so this is how Krishna glorifies Lord Balram. Yeah. And now let's try and understand who is Lord Balram. Because it is very important for us to know the tattva also, philosophy also. As it is said that religion without philosophy is fanaticism. Yeah, so we have to understand what is the tattva. And Lord Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita also, Janma karma chame divyam, yeah, evam yoveti tattvata. Tattvata. Tyaktva deham punarjanma neti mameti so Arjuna. Yeah. So, who is Lord Krishna? We need to understand that. And he's saying, my karma and my jan, my pastimes and my appearance are divya. Yeah. Yeah. So understand those. So basically understand the divinity, understand the divyata of Lord Krishna's pastimes and appearances. And understanding that tattvata, understanding that through the right sources, understanding it properly through the right sources. Yeah. And by understanding that, what happens? Tyaktva deham punarjanma. By leaving this body, we don't take another birth. Then where do we go? We can go back to the abode of Lord Krishna. And we can go and serve him there. Rather than, karshati, rather than suffering here. Yeah? In this material world, we can go back. So rather than suffering here. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, Krishnadas Kaviraj says that Sarva Avatari Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan, Tanara Dvitiya Deha, Shri Balarama. Yeah. So Lord Krishna, who is the fountainhead of all the incarnations, yeah, but his second day, other second day is Dvitiya Deha, Shri Balram. Shri Balram is his Dvitiya Deha. Yeah. So Prabhuji Mataji, so in the beginning it is said, our scriptures say that in the beginning it is only Lord Krishna. Then Lord Krishna expands himself. Yeah. So from Lord Krishna, the Lord Balram comes. He is the first expansion, also called Sankarshan. Yeah. From Lord Krishna, Balram comes. Yeah. Then from Balram, another expansion. Yeah. Pradyumna and Anirudh. So this is the first quadruple. Yeah. Then this quadruple, they stay in the Golok Vrindavan, that spiritual world, yeah, where Lord Krishna's abode is. Then the next expansion is Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Anirudh. So this quadruple expansion, they are in the all Vaikuntha planets. Yeah. So Golok planet, Lord Krishna, Balaram, Pradyumna, Anirudh. From them, Sankarshan, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Anirudh, which are in the all Vaikuntha planets. Yeah? Then from Sankarshan comes Mahavishnu. Yeah? From Sankarshan comes Mahavishnu. And from the pores of Mahavishnu, the Lord Mahavishnu, he is lying in the Viraja river, which is separating material world and the spiritual worlds. So Mahavishnu, Lord Mahavishnu, is in the Viraja river, and from the pores of Mahavishnu's body, the various universes are coming out. Yeah. As also confirmed, said in Brahma Samhita 5.48, Brahmaji is saying, Yasyek Nishwasita Kalam Yathavalamba. Yasyek Nishwasita Kalam Yathavalamba. Jivanti and then he's saying from the pores, Jivanti Vilaja, yeah, from the pores of his skin, Jagadandanatha Vishnu Mahanayasa Iha Kalavishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So he is saying that Vishnu Mahan, yeah, Yasa, yeah, Yasya Kalavishesho. Vishnu Mahan is in Mahavishnu. Yeah. From whose pores of his body, Vilaja, Jivanti Vilaja Jagadandanatha. Yeah. The pores of his skin, the various universes are coming out. Yeah? So from Sankarshan comes Mahavishnu. Yeah? And then when Mahaprabhu is instructing Sanatan Goswami, when Gauranga Mahaprabhu instructing Sanatan Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj records in Madhya Leela, chapter number 20, he also says there that he says that that the Kriya Shakti, yeah, the Kriya Shakti is Sankarshan Balram. Yeah, that is Sankarshan Balram. Prakrit, Aprakrit, Srishti. Yeah, so he is the one who creates Prakrit and Aprakrit, Srishti. Yeah, Karena. Yeah, so he creates all the Prakrit and Aprakrit Srishti. Yeah, he is the Kriya Shakti. Kriya Shakti Pradhan Sankarshan Balaram. Yeah. Prakrit, Aprakrit, Srishti, yeah, and then he creates the Prakrit and Aprakrit Srishti. And then in the next verse he says, Ahankarera Adhisthata. He is the Adhisthata of all the Ahankar, of all the, the various modes. So he is the Adhisthata of all the Ahankars. Ahankarera Adhisthata. Yeah. And he gets prerna from Krishna. Yeah. Ahankara Radhistasta, he gets prerna from Krishna, and then he says, Golok Vaikuntha Sraje. Yeah. Then he does okay, two things. He is the head of the creative energy. Yeah. Kriya Shakti. Yeah. Pradhan. He is the Kriya Shakti Pradhan. So he does Prakrit and Aprakrit. So he creates those Prakrit and Aprakrit Srishti. That's Sankarshan Balram. Then he is also Ahankarera Adhisthasta. He is the Adhisthata of the Ahankar, of the moods. And he also does Golok Vaikunt Sraje. Yeah? Srajan as in creating. Yeah? So he does that, he does the creation of that. How he does it? Chitta Shakti Dwara, which is the spiritual energy. So he gets spiritual energy, yeah, Krishnera, by getting the permission from Krishna or by the desire of Krishna, Krishnera Ichhaya. Yeah. So what Mahaprabhu is saying that Ahankarera Adhisthata Krishnera Ichhaya. Golok Vaikuntha Sraje Chitta Shakti Dwara. Yeah. By the spiritual energy, he creates the Golok and Vaikuntha planets, and by the Kriya Shakti, the creative energy, he creates the Prakrit and Aprakrit universes of the planets. Yeah? So that's Balram. So going back to that, so from Sankarshan comes Mahavishnu. Now from Mahavishnu's pores of the body, Vilaja, Ja as in bone, yeah, and V as in the holes, yeah, Roma Vilaja, yeah, the holes in his body, the hairs. So from them they are born. Jagadandanatha, these universe, which looks like a shape of an egg from outside. So they are coming out. Now, as they come out, these various universes, initially there is nothing inside those universes. Then he enters those universes as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Mahavishnu, then he further expands to enter into those universes as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. As he enters into those Garbhodakshaya Vishnus, initially they are empty, nothing inside. Then what he does is, he from his own sweat, he fills up the half of the universe. Yeah? And then he lies down in that you can say the reservoir, reservoirs of water which has come from his own body, from his own sweat. He lies into that. That is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. From the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, from his navel, that lotus flower comes, and then from the lotus flower Brahmaji comes. And as that lotus flower reaches on the top, Brahmaji comes, and within the stem of that lotus flower, all the 14 planetary systems are created within that. Yeah? So don't try to comprehend it like, don't imagine a flower in your garden. Doesn't work like that. Yeah? This is spiritual world. Yeah? Different. So from that comes. Then he also expands himself as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, which lies in the Shir Sagar. You know, when it is showed in the serials and movies, all these demigods and Brahmaji, they are going praying to the Vishnu Bhagwan. So that Vishnu Bhagwan is lying in the Shir Sagar, Shwet, you know, the Milky Ocean. So that is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So there is another expansion. And that Kshirodakshaya Vishnu then also enters into the heart, into every living entity as Paramatma. Yeah? So now we understand the whole thing. Yeah? Shri Krishna, Balram, Pradyumna, Anirudh, the first quadruple. Second quadruple, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Anirudh. From Sankarshan, Mahavishnu. From Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Then Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. And who also enters everyone as Paramatma. And then in that lotus level, the Srishti is created. Yeah. So that's what Mahaprabhu is telling Sanatana Goswami. Prakrit aprakrit Srishti karena nirman. Yeah. Kriya Shakti Pradhan. So he is the head of or he has all the Kriya Shakti. Yeah. Kriya Shakti Pradhan Sankarshana Balram. Prakrit aprakrit Srishti karena nirman. So that's how he creates this. Then he also creates the Golok and the Vaikuntha planet systems. Yeah? Ahankarera adhisthata Krishnera ichhaya. Golok Vrindavan, Golok Vaikunt Sraje Chitta Shakti Dwara. So by the spiritual energy, he creates the Vaikuntha planets, and in all the Vaikuntha planets, now these 4 second quadruple expansions, they are present in all these Vaikuntha planets, and in the spiritual present, Golok, Vrindavan, Lord Krishna, Balram, Pradyumna, and others. So that's how this whole setup is, Prabhuji Mataji. So that's the tattva behind Lord Balram. Now the next question you might ask is, why does Lord Balram appear? What is the reason for his coming? So once again we find the answer in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Krishnadas Kaviraj writes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela. So he says, Sarva Roop Aswadaye Krishna Sevanand. Sarva Roop Aswadaye Krishna Sevanand Sei Balaram Gaur Sange Nityanand. Yeah. So he comes to enjoy Sarva Roop Aswadaye, to taste the service attitude, to taste the enjoyment that he gets by serving Shri Krishna. Yeah? That same Balram is Gaur Sange Nityanand. So there are 3 prominent in the recent times, or that we have studied. So 3 prominent appearances, you can say, of Lord Balram. So he came with Lord Ram as Lakshman. Then he came as Balaram with Lord Krishna. And then he also comes as Nityanand Prabhu with Gauranga, yeah? With our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah? So these are the prominent ones. Now he comes, Prabhuji Mataji, why does he come? Like I said, he comes to taste the bliss in serving. But at the same time, he also comes to teach us. So 2 aspects. He enjoys himself, and through his actions, he is teaching us. Yad yad acharati shreshthas tat tad ev tarojana. Yeah. As the shrestha, the intelligent, the exalted people act, yeah, tat tad ev tarojana, the other people follow that. Yeah. Saev pramanam kurute. By their actions, they set the examples. Saev pramanam kurute. And then others follow that. Yeah, so he does that. So now 5 ras. So there are 5 prominent ras, and Lord Balram enjoys all the 5 prominent ras when he is serving Lord Krishna. So there are 5 prominent ras, as you know: Shantras, Dasyaras, Sakhyaras, Vatsalyaras, and Madhuryaras. In the Shantras, he is doing everything for Krishna. When Krishna wants to sleep, he becomes the bed. When Krishna wants to play the flute, he becomes the flute. When Krishna wants to play, he becomes the toys. Yeah. He also becomes his clothes. He becomes everything for Krishna. That's in the Shantras. As he has created this, he creates the forest, he creates whatever Krishna wants to do or enjoy. So Balram does that for him. Yeah. Then he is also serving Krishna in the dasya, the personal service. The biggest one is so when the creation happens, he also becomes the shesh. As we see Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he is lying on the shesh shayya, so he becomes a bed. Yeah. And not just that, he's got thousands of hoods. And with all the 1,000 hoods, what he's doing, he's glorifying Lord Krishna. He's singing his glories, he's glorifying Krishna all the time. So that's what Balramji does through his personal service in the serving attitude. Dasya bhav. So he's tasting that ras. Then in the Sakhya ras, he's playing with Lord Krishna. Now in this chapter, the shlok that we discussed, 10th canto, 15th chapter. So Lord Balram and Krishna, they are going to the forest. Balram has got his arm around Krishna's shoulder, and both the brothers are walking, and they are going into the forest. As they are going into the forest, now they are, singing, enjoying, glorifying each other. They are doing that. Yeah. When they are playing, if Krishna loses, then Balram comes forward. He comes forward. He says, "Okay, in place of Krishna, I will do the service." It is like if you are playing match and somebody needs to do the fielding. Yeah. So he says, "Okay, I will go and field for Krishna. Let Krishna rest, because he is my friend." Yeah. Is this not how we serve each other when we are best of the friends? We want to take pain for each other. We want to come forward and provide any service to each other because we just care for each other. So in the Sakhya ras, Balram does that. Then he also shows them Vatsalya ras. In the Vatsalya ras, he becomes a caring elder brother, and he instructs Krishna, "Krishna, don't go there. It is very dangerous." It is said that when Krishna very often would go to Yamuna and he will play with his friends, and then Balramji knew that in Yamuna there is Kaliya. So Kaliya stay there. So Balramji one day said that Mother Yashoda told Balram, tell Krishna not to go anywhere today. We are going to take him for bathing at a particular ghat of Yamuna. So Balram then instructs Subal, tell Krishna not to go out. Today me, he says, me and Mother Yashoda, we are going to take him for a special bath at a particular ghat of Yamuna. Tell him not to go there. And how old is he? He is only 8 days older than Krishna. We will have Janmashtami coming in about a week's time. So only 8 days difference. But Balramji acts as an elder brother, as a caring elder brother. And he tells Krishna to be careful. So he shows that. Then the fifth top ras is Madhurya ras. Now Balramji also enjoys the Madhurya ras. As he enjoys that, you must have heard of Ananga Manjari. So Balramji becomes Ananga Manjari, who is younger sister of Srimati Radharani. Yeah. So in that expansion, he is also serving Krishna through Srimati Radharani. Yeah. So Balramji comes to enjoy all the rasas, and to teach us. Most importantly, Prabhuji Mataji, he is here to teach us how do we enjoy the ras. That is why he is called Adi Guru, because from his own servicing, he is setting examples, and which is for us to learn. Yeah? So we learn a lot from Lord Balram. Now, I've got another 15 minutes. So Lord Balram, also other thing to understand is Lord Balram, about his marriage. This is a very interesting pastime. Lord Balram got married to Mother Revati. So what happened was, Mother Revati's father was King Revat, and it was in Satyug. So King Revat was looking for a appropriate alliance for Mother Revati. She was very beautiful, and he could not find anyone. She was very skilled, all the best of the qualities she had. So then King Revat, as he could not find anyone in this Martyalok, even in the heavenly planets, he could not find anyone. So he goes to Brahmaji. So So he went to Brahmaji's abode and he asked Brahmaji that, my dear Brahmaji, please guide me. At that time, the kings could go, the pious kings, they had the potential to travel. And we just discussed, just last week, we discussed the time and age calculation of various planetary systems. So he went there. As he went there, he spoke to Brahmaji and he asked Brahmaji that, Brahmaji, I could not find an appropriate alliance for my daughter. Please tell me. And then Brahmaji then immediately asked him, how long you been here? He said, oh, I just came for like few moments ago. And then Brahmaji told him, but the few moments here in Brahmalok means already so many Mahayugs have passed on the Bhulok. So generations would have gone on the Bhulok. So he told him, you immediately go down and then you can find the best alliance for your daughter, for Revati at the moment, is Lord Balram. So go and speak to Balram's parents and then arrange that alliance. So as King Revat came down with Mother Revati, he was right, it was in Satyug he went there. But by the time he came down, it was, and Satyug of, we don't know which yuga, yeah, which cycle, let's not get into that, which Manvantar. But as he comes down, many thousands of years had passed. So he comes down in the Dwapar Yuga when Lord Balram is here. And he takes, he goes and King Revat goes and meet Vasudevji and Mother Rohini. And then that alliance is arranged. Now that alliance is arranged, Lord Balram looks at Mother Revati. Mother Revati, because she was born in Satyug, she was very tall. As they say, the height, so normal guideline is, in the Kali Yuga, people will be 6 feet maximum height. Some are exception, but a general guideline is 6 feet. Dwapar is 12 feet, Treta is 18 feet, and Satyug is 24 feet. So she was 24 feet. And Lord Balram is in Dwapar, 12 feet, roughly you can say. So as Mother Revati was standing there, Lord Balram's, so he has two weapons, club and a plow. So Lord Balram took his plow and he put plow on Mother Revati's shoulder and he pulled her down. As he did that, she became shorter, equal height for Lord Balramji. And Lord Balram got married to Mother Revati. Now speaking of hull, speaking of plow, Prabhuji Mataji, it is very important. We need to question, why does Lord Balram keep plow as his weapon? Yeah? It is not just a weapon to punish, but it is also a weapon. I mean, punish as in to punish the physically, but it is also used as a weapon in the spiritual sense, Prabhuji Mataji. Yeah. So in the one sense, because they belong to farming community, so they use the plow for tilling the land. Yeah. And it is said that the more you till the land, the more fertile it becomes, because as it softens. Whoever is from farming background, you can understand. Nowadays they use tractor, but in olden days they will use bullocks, yeah, and then with the bullocks they will plow and they will plow the land. Yeah, as many times you plow, the land becomes soft, and then as you put the seeds in there, they will germinate so quickly, and then you will get bumper crop. Yeah. So plow is the weapon of Lord Balram, but it is also a weapon to be used for us. Yeah. So softening the land also applies to, or another way of looking at it is, we should be softening our heart. Our heart needs to be softened as well. It is said that, somebody, if he or she, sometimes we say people, they are very kathor hriday. As Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, dushta hriday. Yeah? Lord Krishna, when he is talking to Arjun, he says, Daurbalyam, hridayam Daurbalyam. Yeah? In the second Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, I think 2.2 or 2.3, I can't remember exactly. But there Lord Krishna is telling Arjun, hridayam Daurbalyam, that your heart is, you are of a weakened heart. It doesn't suit you. So there was that weakness. So similarly, Prabhuji Mataji, our hearts are overtaken by these weaknesses. Yeah? Weaknesses in Kam, Krodh, Moh, Lobh. Yeah? Yeah? Because man is the rest place for Krishna. mind or man. Yeah. So we need to soften this, and the only way to soften this is we need to flow this. Yeah. Also, Sud Goswami, when he's speaking to Shaunakadi Rishi, he's saying, Chindanti ko vidastasya ko na kuryad katharati. Yeah. Yad anudhyasina yukta. Yad anudhyasina. So he says, with the sword, anudhyasina yukta. Yeah. Yeah. With the sword of Hari Katha. Yeah. Chindanti. It cuts the knots. So all these various desires, they are sitting inside as knots. You can take in a simple analogy, if a rope gets knotted, can it be used? If you have a rope and it got knotted, no. We need to untie those knots to use it properly. Similarly, our heart is filled with all these knots, and we need to cut these knots. Only by cutting these knots, there will be space for Krishna to come. Otherwise, these knots have no space. Yeah. So that flow, Prabhuji Mataji represents that. Yeah. That flow represents in the sense we can pray. We pray to Lord Balram. Yeah. Because it is through Lord Balram only that we can go and get service of Krishna. Now, in the same pastime, when Lord Krishna and Balram are going into the forest, after Lord Krishna speaks Balram this verse, in future few verses, Shukdev is telling Parikshit Maharaj that after walking a distance, now and they have some sporting activities, and then Lord Balram got tired. As Lord Balram got tired, he lie down on the ground, putting his head on the lap of a friend, one of the Gopas. As Lord Balram was lying down, Lord Krishna came and he started massaging Balram's feet. See, he started massaging Balram's feet. Then Lord Krishna also tired, and he was also lying down on the ground, put his head on another Gopa's lap. And then another Gopa, he was massaging Lord Krishna's feet. Sometime Lord Balram would massage Lord Krishna's feet. So this is how they are having this loving exchange. Yeah. So what Krishna is teaching us through this pastime is that he can help us, he can give us that prema. Yeah. He loves Lord Balram so much. Yeah. But if we serve Lord Balram, when Krishna can say that all these trees are bending to you, my dear Lord, who are the best of the Devavara, yeah, who can remove their ignorance, then why can't our ignorance be removed? Yeah, if we offer our services to Lord Balram, yeah, we pray to him, and with his flow, he can cut all those desired knots in our heart. It can be done. And this body is the only way. Prabhuji Mataji, we can use this body, you can use this sharir. You know, in Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter, Arjuna asks Krishna that Prakritim Purusham Chaiva. Yeah. So he says Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetragna Evacha. Yeah. And then Etad Veditum Ichchami. Gnanam Gneyam Cha Keshava. So he asks Keshav, Arjun is asking Krishna that I want to know these 6 things. Yeah, so what are those 6 things? He's saying that Kshetra, he asks Prakriti and Purush. Purush is an enjoyer. What is Prakriti? What is Purush? Kshetrag, Kshetragnam. Yeah, Kshetra is in field, and Kshetragnam is the knower of the field. Who is the knower of the field? Who is the Gyan? What is the Gyan? And who is the knower of that Gyan? I want to Etad Veditum Ichchami. Yeah? And then Lord Krishna tells Arjun, Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetram iti avidhiyate. That this sharir, this body is the Kshetra. And Kshetra means field. And that same field can be cultivated by using a plow. Or this body can be used for performing the devotional service. Yeah? So this is the Kshetra. This is the Karam Kshetra. Yeah? So one way of looking at this is that this body is myself. Or other way of looking at it is, as we say, me and mine. So we use this body, we use this kshetra to perform devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah. So this becomes our karma kshetra. And only in the human body, Prabhuji Mataji, we can perform devotional service, as we know. So this body becomes the kshetra, becomes the field for us. Yeah? And the control of this body is here, heart and man, which needs to be cultivated. Yeah? So this is the kshetra. That's what Lord Krishna is saying. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetram iti avidhiyate. Etad veto tam prahu. Yeah? Yeah? Kshetragnam iti tadvida. Yeah? The knowers of the field, they say that person who knows that this body is the kshetra, this body is the karam kshetra, knower of that, they are called kshetragna, kshetra and kshetragna. So if we are truly kshetragna, if we truly want to be kshetragna, so we should understand that this body is the best vehicle for us. And the control of this body, Prabhuji Mataji, is in our heart. Yeah? And we need to soften this heart. We need to cleanse this heart. Only by cleaning this heart, we'll be able to perform devotional service. And when we perform devotional service to Krishna, only then we will be able to Tyaktva deham punarjanma neti mameti swarjuna. Only then we can go back to Godhead. But for that, we need some guidance. We need proper direction. Yeah? So Lord Balram is here, or he appears to give us that guidance, Prabhuji Mataji. He is the Adi Guru. So our spiritual masters, our Guru Parampara, yeah, they are drawing that energy, they are drawing that knowledge. Yeah? So that spiritual strength we get from Lord Balram. That is why he is called Bal. He is called strength. And you can see it yourself. Very, very often we feel so dejected, we feel depressed. Yeah, we find it hard to go and do some services. Then essentially what is happening? That energy is missing. That strength is missing. But Lord Balram tells us from his own example, he is always engaged in Krishna service. And he is happy to do service in all the 5 rasas. In all the 5, this thing. Sarva Rupa Aswade Krishna Sevanam. Sei Balaram Gaur Sange Nityanand. Yeah. So it is him only. Yeah. So all we need is, we need to draw inspiration. Yeah. So it is very auspicious day today, Prabhuji Mataji. We should all pray to Lord Balram to be merciful upon us, to give us the spiritual strength. And with that spiritual strength, what we want to do? We want to perform our devotional service with so much strength. Yeah. Because Lord Krishna says that my devotees are so dear to me. Name priya chaturshvedi mad bhakta swapachah priya. Yeah. Tasmai deyam tato grahyam sacha pujyam yatha aham. In Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sanatan Goswami writes. So he is saying, Tatai tato grahyam tasmai deyam. So Krishna is saying, my devotees are so dear to me. Sacha pujyam yathahi aham. So he is saying, my devotees, they become so exalted. You should pray to them. You should worship them like me. Yeah? And that's what Lord Krishna shows in this verse, in today's verse, 10:15:5. That's what Lord Krishna is saying. Yeah? So he's saying that all these trees, so he's making Lord Balram equal to him. Even though Lord knew that these trees are going down to him, they are going down to Krishna. But Prabhuji Mataji, Krishna can make everyone equal to him. Rather, he is happy to become your servant. That is why Lord Krishna is then massaging Lord Balram's feet. When Lord Balram got tired, Lord Krishna went and started massaging his feet. Not just making you equal to him. He is rather happy to become your servant. Yeah, he is happy to come and serve you like that. So, okay, Prabhuji Mataji, will stop now. And happy Balram Jayanti. Hare Krishna.